So 3 solutions. Remember, Caden, shut it. So if you have a positive 2i, then that means you have a negative 2i, right? So I'm going to have x minus 4, x minus 2i, and x plus 2i. Now, I'm going to need to use that -1 and the -50 to figure out what a is, but I'll do that in a second. So I at least want to get this one taken care of to where it'll be easier to plug in the -1 and the -50, okay, to figure out what kind of like what speed and direction we're going with the a. So if I have a times x minus 4, I'm not really worried about that front part as I am worried about x minus 2i times x plus 2i. So if they're conjugates of each other, I only need to multiply the first part and the back part. So -2i times positive 2i is -4i squared. Well, what's I squared? -1. So what's that going to make that? A positive 4, right? So then, in terms of finding a, so I have a times x minus 4 times x squared plus 4. Now, you can either multiply those two together. What I would probably suggest is now taking this -1 and that -50 and plugging it in to figure out what a is. So if I'm going to rewrite this, I'm going to have -50 equals a times -1 minus 4. Then in this one I'm going to have -1 squared plus 4. So I'm going to have -5 and a positive 5, right? So I'm going to have a times -25 is equal to -50. So what's a equal to? Positive 2, right? So if a is equal to 2, okay, I'm just going to use this, and now it's basically just going to go right back in to here, and now I'm just going to re-multiply everything. So now I can kind of finish what I had and have -2 or positive 2, excuse me, or y equals, or f of x, whatever you want to call it, is equal to 2 times x minus 4 times x squared plus 4. I'm not going to worry about that 2 until the very end because it's just going to be easier that way. So if I take x and x squared, so I'm just going to have the 2, I'm going to have x to the third plus 4x minus 4x squared, and then minus 16. Now I'm going to kind of do two things at once, and I'm going to multiply everything by 2, and I'm going to put it in standard form at the same time. So I'm going to have f of x equals 2x to the third. I'm going to go ahead and go minus 8x squared plus 8x minus 32. Remember, I should have a power of 3 because it tells us that there are 3 solutions, or 3, the nth degree is going to be to the third power. Okay, so whatever I get there and whatever I get right here need to match. Okay, they should be the same value.